All right, today we're talking about Florence, but we're not just going to cover the huge, famous landmarks that everyone knows about. Nope. We're going off the beaten path to find the city's quieter, more amazing treasures. We're going to explore the hidden spots where the real heart of the Renaissance is still beating.
So, you're planning a trip to Florence, and you can probably already see it in your mind's eye, right? You're standing there, totally alone, just you and Botticelli's Birth of Venus. Or maybe you're having a quiet, profound moment with Michelangelo's David. It's supposed to be the ultimate cultural trip.
Yeah, about that quiet moment. The reality, it can be, well, a little bit different. That dream of contemplating art often turns into just jostling for a decent photo op. And that deep cultural immersion, it gets replaced by a serious case of museum fatigue. You know, when your brain just can't take in any more beauty? It can feel less like a historic discovery and more like you're just stuck on a tourist treadmill.
But what if I told you there's another way? A better way to do Florence, a Sammy Traveler's alternative that really gets you to the soul of the Renaissance. Well, there is, and the secret is the city's incredible and way too often overlooked small museums. So why bother with the small spots? Well, first off, you get actual intimacy with the art. I mean, can you imagine being the only person in a room with a masterpiece? It happens. You also get authentic context. A lot of these are house museums, so you're literally seeing art in the homes where people lived and breathed. And, maybe the best part, the pacing is just better. You can explore one of these places in about an hour, maybe 90 minutes, and you leave feeling energized, not totally wiped out.
So you're probably thinking, okay, sounds good, but are they really worth it? Let me give you a quick tour of a few of these hidden gems. I have a feeling they might just make you rethink your whole trip. Okay, first up, the Bargello. Now think of it like this. If the Uffizi is the absolute must-see for paintings, then the Bargello is its twin for sculpture. It's essential. And the building itself is incredible, a massive medieval fortress that was actually a prison at one point.
And inside, oh man, you get Donatello's Bronze David, which you could argue is even more revolutionary than Michelangelo's marble one. You'll see early works by Michelangelo himself, like his Bacchus. Then there's the Della Rabbia room, which is just this explosion of bright, beautiful terracotta. And the courtyard, it is hands down one of the most stunning, crowd-free photo ops in the entire city.
So we've seen the art people created, but what about how they actually lived? For that, we head to our next spot, the Palazzo Davanzati. This place is a perfectly preserved home of a rich merchant family from the 14th century. It's not like looking at a history book, it's like stepping right inside of it. And it's the little details here that will just blow your mind. You've got rooms with walls painted to look like super expensive tapestries, a clever trick back then. They had an amazingly advanced indoor well system, basically ancient plumbing. You can even see a bedroom that looks like the family just stepped out for a walk a few minutes ago. It is a genuine time capsule.
Now, if you're up for something totally different, something a little wild, you have to go to the Museum Stibbert. It's a bit outside the main tourist area, and it's this wonderfully bizarre collection put together by one man, Frederick Stibbert, who had a serious obsession with armor. And when I say obsession, I am not kidding. The entire villa is just jam-packed, floor to ceiling, with over 50,000 objects. It's this incredible maximalist display that's such a cool contrast to the usual, more restrained Florentine style. The absolute showstopper is the Hall of the Ride. You walk in and bam, there's a whole cavalcade of life-size knights in full armor, sitting on armored horses. It is jaw-dropping. Plus, he collected one of the most important collections of Japanese samurai armor anywhere outside of Japan. It's just an incredible place of adventure.
Okay, are you inspired? Feeling ready to go treasure hunting? Good. Now for the practical stuff. Because visiting these places isn't always straightforward. Their schedules can be a little, let's call it, quirky.
First things first, you have to get a handle on their schedules. A lot of these state-run spots have this weird alternating Monday thing. So they might be open on the 1st, 3rd, and 5th Mondays of a month, but closed on the 2nd and 4th. It's confusing, I know. So the number one rule is simple. Always, and I mean always, check the official website for the exact hours before you even think about going.
It also really helps to know who's in charge of what. The city's museums are basically split into two groups. You've got your state museums, like the Bargello, which are run by the national government. Their tickets are on the B ticket portal. Then you've got civic museums like the Palazzo Vecchio, which are run by the city of Florence. You'll find their info on the Musei Civici Fiorentini website. Just knowing that little difference will save you a ton of headaches. And now for my favorite pro tip. As you might know, Monday is the day that most big museums in Italy, including the Uffizi, are closed.
It's kind of a bummer. But thanks to that quirky alternating schedule we just talked about, a small museum is often your best and sometimes your only option for art on a Monday. It's the perfect way to turn what could be a down day into a day of incredible discovery.
So what does this all really mean? What's the point? It's about making a choice. It's about trading those massive, overwhelming crowds for a real personal connection with Florence and with its incredible history.
When you visit these places, you get to experience the Renaissance not as some checklist of famous things to see, but as it was probably meant to be enjoyed, quietly, with space to actually think, in the very rooms where all this history actually happened.
You know, if you just trade one of those big blockbuster attractions for one of these smaller, more intimate gems, you might just find that the quietest moments of your trip end up being the ones you remember forever.
So, when you plan that trip to Florence, there's really only one question left to ask yourself. Which one of these amazing hidden gems are you going to discover first?